Come in.
Hi, how are you today?
Hi, how you
Hi,
guys?
thank you so much for taking this meeting with us. I
Absolutely.
don't know if you remember, but I'm Carrie and I'm Cynthia.
Okay, welcome. Come have a seat.
Thank you.
Man, you enjoying the weather, huh?
We sure are.
Springtime is here.
Hey, this is almost like summer.
Trying to squeeze in some pool time wherever we
Well,
can.
hey, you gotta do it, right?
Awesome.
So how are you doing? How's your weekend?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Family's good. Kids are good. Very active. Now the spring's happening, and you're trying to get outdoors more. Kind of deal with the pollen a little bit, but
You're telling me.
take the good with the bad, right? At least
Yes.
we're outside.
Yes.
Yes,
So you guys are located in Florida. Do you guys go to the beach often?
Absolutely. As often as we can.
I'm
We love it. We're
so jealous. If I could, I would go to the beach like every single day, and I would be a lot tanner.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear you. It's fun. Fun times.
So are you guys familiar? So you go to the beach often. You see the weather. You're located in Florida. Are you familiar with hurricanes and the damages that they can cause?
Yeah, we went through Hurricane Michael
Yes.
in the Panhandle, and it certainly disrupted our little organization for a while. But it's why you live in Florida. There's some good parts of it, and then there's some not so good parts.
Yes, my family has a condo in Panama, and whenever that came through, it actually was so bad it pushed the windows in, not out, in. So
Oh, wow.
a lot of damage and
Yep,
things.
yep.
Do you have any personal experience, or has your business ever experienced any losses related to hurricanes or flooding or any of those things?
Hurricane Michael,
Yes.
was the most recent one that we had to adapt to, and it damaged the building and disrupted because, that hurricane was so massive, it was a category 5. So the infrastructure, the electricity, the phone systems, all the stuff in and around Tallahassee, in and around Panama City were down.
And do you feel like you've been able to kind of upgrade your facilities, and maybe do you feel covered now
With your current
insurance policy?
One of the reasons, I want to interview some other agents is because our current broker has been a family friend for many, many years, a friend of my father-in-law's, and as I'm taking over the business now, I just want to make sure of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are, but I want to make sure of that.
Well, we know how awesome it is to be close with your insurance broker, and you really want to look at them as family. And so you said you've been with them for a long time,
Right.
and so we know it's kind of hard to branch out and see some other things, but we hope that we can present some ideas to you that maybe you haven't even thought of before.
That's why you're here today.
Yeah, of course.
We also want to assure you that we have some service standards.
Yes, this is our service standards.
These are our guarantees for you.
Oh, wow.
We don't have kids, so we are available on time 24/7, whenever you need. If there is a hurricane,
Do you babysit? Because I have kids.
I'll be able to do that.
we can work something out. Whenever you need us at whatever time, we will be here, and we promise you that we will give you whatever coverage and things that you need. And so,
Obviously, this isn't a complete list of everything that we can offer
Right,
you
right.
or whatever, but we just like to give this to potential clients and customers just so that they know exactly what they can expect.
Okay.
Especially,
so we're young, but we're trying to grow in this industry. Just last week, we put 60 hours in. We're
Yeah,
ready.
it's not
We're
like
committed to do that.
trying to work a lot and stuff. So, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, so I just wanted to mention, so we were looking over some of your insurance documents, and we couldn't help but notice that there is a little bit of a gap in coverage with hurricane, and that's kind of alarming, because, you've been in Florida for so long, and you know how the weather is. We have a couple of catastrophe models. Would you be interested in seeing those?
Yeah, wow.
Okay, perfect. So, it's just, hurricanes are just really bad, and just with everything that the weather and everything's kind of starting to get more unpredictable, and then especially in the last 5 years, hurricanes have just been a really big risk for Florida. And so you guys are located just somewhere around here, and you guys unfortunately have the biggest risk of dealing with flooding and storm surges from hurricanes. And we know that you guys want to focus on expansion, and your company wants to grow, and you guys have done really well these last few quarters, and we really want to help you protect that.
Mm-hmm. And so one of our recommendations, other than maybe just getting endorsements and stuff, because I don't know if you're aware, I don't know how knowledgeable you are the insurance industry, but just a general business owner's policy is not going to cover flooding. And then also whenever you are located in these areas, a lot of times they even write in wind exclusions, which means they're not going to cover damage from that. So sometimes it's important, especially whenever, you do have this one facility right now, so everything goes through there.
Right,
And it's
right.
important to make sure that you have this coverage because business interruption and loss of income can be a serious damage. And we know it's a family business and you rely on this income for your family. It's not a big global company. So it's important to make sure that you are covered.
And this map is also important to have. Do you like any other counties, maybe a little further inland in Florida?
No, we're gonna stay in Bay County, Kansas City. We
Okay.
enjoy the beach and the water too much.
So that's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, so, now that you have those maps and you guys are focused on, expansion, you obviously don't have to leave the beach area, but maybe you just 10, 15 minutes can make a big difference
Okay.
with insurance
Yes.
policies. It can lower premiums, and we know COVID has, a lot of businesses
Right,
have taken a big
right.
hit, but this will help you save money, and everyone loves saving money.
So you're
Yeah.
saying as I grow, if I expand, I may wanna expand a little
Yes.
A
further
little bit
inland
further inland, yes.
to help protect me a little more.
Yes.
And then also, what are your current storm? Do you have storm shelters? Do you have shutter window? What are your current?
So it's a warehouse.
Okay.
And so, yes, we have opening protections, we have things that we can put in place
Okay, awesome.
in advance of a hurricane.
Okay.
But, a category 5, didn't matter what was on the
Yeah,
windows
yeah.
and doors.
Do y'all do you try to keep up with the weather and stuff? And do you ever move your product maybe to a different location in the case of that?
No, we've never, we certainly, we don't have another location, so we couldn't have done that at this present
Yes.
time. But no, it's raw materials, it's
So it's hard to
it's electronics,
yes,
stuff like that, so.
Okay, so for your business, we recommend, obviously the hurricane shutters for maybe the smaller storms, that will help protect against the wind and some of that. But we also, if you want some more risk transfer, we can help with getting you a policy through FEMA and FDIC. You can get coverage for flood, and it'll help cover the business interruptions and things like that. Which we really recommend for your business.
Especially since you don't want to. Obviously, I don't blame you for not wanting to leave the beach,
Right.
but since
Yes.
you really don't want to, your family's there and everything. We would definitely recommend, even though it might cost initially a little bit more upfront, but since your family does rely on this business, we think it would definitely be worth
Okay.
getting into.
All right, so flood insurance,
Yes.
okay.
And then if you,
One, flood insurance.
And then
Yes.
also maybe a wind endorsement,
Yes.
which would help.
Wind,
Any.
okay.
however, if you also,
Sounds like a lot of money.
if you want something a little bit more, just, to have the extra layer of protection, you can also get DIC coverage. However, it has high retention. So that means that you'll have to pay a little bit more of the loss. You will have a higher deductible if you choose to go down that route, but it will cover any lapses in judgment, and it'll cover business interruptions. So if you have that hurricane and if it comes in, ruins everything, you just call up your insurance company, you tell them what happened. They're like, okay, we will take care of you, and they'll look at your coverage things, and once you pay the deductible, you don't have to worry about anything.
Wow, that sounds like full coverage, right?
And one of the things that we really like to work on with our customers is finding out the level of risk that they are comfortable with. If
Right.
you're comfortable retaining that risk, we want to give you maybe some risk mitigation techniques, such as the storm shutters, that kind of stuff, diversifying, that kind of stuff. We can work with you. We have people that can come out and look at your business and give those suggestions to help you do that. Or we could transfer the risk, with insurance policies, if you want that full coverage. Obviously, no business wants to do completely full coverage, but it's just something to keep in mind. We like to work with what level you're comfortable
Right, right.
Yeah.
So do those services cost additional money, or is that something you guys do?
It's something that we do. It's something
Okay.
that we also have loss control centers that are available 24/7. We have legal teams that can help you with any questions that you might have, loss claims. You can call them 24/7. You can also contact us if you have any
Gotcha,
questions, things
gotcha.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so we just want to reiterate the point that we have, certified professional services, and you don't have to, if you were to do this on your own, you would have to, go find a company, you have to go talk to people, and you don't know
Right.
how trustworthy they are, and then there could be a chance where, you pay the money and then they don't do such a good job, and then the hurricane comes, and then it's like, why did I pay all this money? But with us, we already have a team of these people, and like we said, they can come in, they can look at your building, they can make recommendations, they can work with you if you will have something where you're more comfortable with, whereas, if you want to say, well, I'm not that comfortable with insurance, I want to see what can I do more for my building, then
Gotcha.
they will help you with that, if that's something you're interested in.
Okay.
And, this weekend, they have a couple of storms coming in and everything, so are you guys going to try to stay safe? Did you get them any plans for the weekend?
Well, I mean, certainly going to protect the family,
Of
and
course.
we'll certainly batten up the building the
Yes.
best we can.
We're gonna get ready for the spring.
But at the end of the day, it's the wife, kids,
Of course.
the grandparents will make sure everybody's safe. That in that
We
regard,
are,
and our employees.
we're actually gonna go drive up to our alma mater and we're gonna go watch our spring football game. So
Wow,
we're
look
very
at
excited.
you.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any sporting traditions? Obviously, we're in the South, you know, so
Yeah.
everyone
Football's
loves
really
sports.
big here.
Yeah, so we're fans of FSU,
Okay.
and for football games we have a skybox, and for basketball games we have a courtside box where we host our clients and prospective clients. So we have a good time at the sporting events.
So you guys do business at these skyboxes?
We do.
That's a great way. That's a great way to build business. People
Yeah.
love to see people outside the office, and we really hope on that too. But
What do you guys do at these events? Like, what do you guys serve? Do you guys serve
So,
like, food,
We serve
alcohol?
food and alcohol. Absolutely. I mean, we got to butter up the.
Beers and wings?
Butter 'em up, right?
Are we beers and wings type of people, or
Well,
are we
you know, wings,
tequila and pizza?
It's all the above.
Okay.
Every guy one of our things.
we'll happily take an invitation.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a lot of food, certainly a lot of drink,
Yeah.
but it's to build relationships.
Of course.
It's to have people in there that we currently do business with, or we would like to do business with.
Okay.
Have y'all ever experienced like any accidents after this or anything? Maybe.
Knock on wood, we've been fortunate that nobody's brought it to our attention, but we've been doing this a long time, so I'm not saying
No,
it
right?
happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
It's
good.
never been brought back to us and say, hey, on the way home, Bob or Sally got in an automobile accident.
I have a question for you. Have you ever thought what would have happened in the event that like an accident like that ever happened? Have you ever like thought about it?
Yes, my father-in-law and I have thought about it, and we just figured FSU handled it all.
Actually, we have some unfortunate news, but we don't want to raise your blood pressure. Do you want
So the
Wait,
Florida dram shop laws, they actually say that you can be held liable if one of your client or like one of your prospective customers or anything
Right.
were to drive and kill a family or something like that. They could go back and actually sue you since technically you were the one that provided them the
Yeah.
alcohol. And we're not saying that you need to go. Obviously, you're not in the business of selling or distributing alcohol, so you don't need. So you don't need like that
you
kind
don't
of
have to
general
have like, an
liability.
added endorsement or anything.
Yeah, but we just like wanted to kind of make like a recommendation to maybe offer your people Uber or Lyft discount codes, or I don't know if you
Deductible.
yeah, it's tax deductible. So we maybe offer your people that. And also, if you were per se like super worried about it, because like I said, it's a family business, so a lawsuit like that could be huge because people die.
Right.
Obviously, people always go. I don't know if you know like the certain legal precedent right now. People always go with the victims right now against like insurance and stuff. But anyway,
So there's a policy called host liquor liability, and now this is not something where you can just, if you choose to, you can choose to buy like a premium and it covers the whole year. So you can have unlimited amount of sports events or whatever, and it'll cover that. However, I know it sounds expensive, so if that is not an option that you want, there is also an option where you can buy host liquor liability per an event. So you just pay for every event that you have.
like
So
say FSU went to a really big game, a bunch of people were going to be getting rowdy, maybe try something like that, which, it's just a recommendation, but
Huh.
that could end up being a very large issue.
So right now, I'm thinking FSU covers me.
Yeah.
You guys are saying maybe, maybe not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having my own protection is probably the best.
Yes.
Yes. And just because it's, better safe than sorry.
And,
Okay.
and let's say, not that it would happen, but what if an underage drinker comes in, or just in case, just whatever accident or that would happen, this would cover
This
you.
will cover.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yes.
you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Wow.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your manufacturing process?
So the process is we get the raw materials in, okay? And our team of 8, some have been around for a while, and so they know how that process works to manufacture using sheet metal, getting the lights, because these are all specifically made for a certain job,
Yes.
whether it's a canopy at a gas station or it's a convenience store. So once we know the specs, then we manufacture to those specs, then we move it along the chain and add the electronic components. So at the end of that process, the light is made to fit a certain level of canopy, and then the lighting kit is put on that. We bring it to the back door, a shipping container comes, we load it on that container, and the truck takes it to its destination.
Okay, just to clarify, just to make sure that I'm understanding, you guys are a very specialized business and you guys make very unique products per customer, right? So it's
Yep.
not just something you make in bulk,
No.
it's something you make per customer. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what separated us from our competitors,
Okay.
because we've been able to build that niche to be very specialized, and so we work with a lot of different groups that also do that same thing when they design the lighting kits.
Okay.
And then, of course, we ship it to the job site, and then I outsource the installation. We do not install the lights.
So do you have several companies that you outsource to, or is it just one?
So there's two companies that we outsource to. It's the trucking company that takes it from the loading dock to the job site, and then the installer.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that are in that chain.
Earlier you mentioned something about growing and expanding the company. So it's how do you think your manufacturing company will grow with your business expansions?
Well, we're hoping, right now we're just in the Midwest.
Okay.
So we're hoping to grow further west.
Mhm.
And then of course the East Coast once we get a good chain. The concern is whether or not the people that are supplying me the raw materials and the people that are trucking my stuff and the people that are installing are able to keep up.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
That is a concern.
so you do worry about the fact that you maybe only have these certain amount of people that are giving you the supplies, doing the work. Have you thought about maybe trying to diversify and find other people that maybe you trust? Obviously, I'm sure these people do a great job if you're doing all this business with them, but if you tried to maybe find other companies that you could maybe work with?
So that's the goal,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm looking for too. But if I do that, I'm getting outside my comfort zone, right? And
Yes.
now I'm dealing with people that I don't have a relationship with, and my concern is, do they have the protections to protect IQL?
Mhm.
So do you guys have the ability to help me with insurance specifications or to help me understand their insurance provisions and make sure I'm protected?
Yeah, so thank you so much for your question. And so you mentioned something how you wanted something more maybe towards insurance that would protect you from diversifying with your vendors, correct? Well, if this is an avenue that you are interested in, you can get vendor endorsement. You can get that added to your insurance policy, and that would be something where it would help you in the event that your vendor goes out of business or if something bad happens. We just had a client.
Yeah, I had a client that they actually manufacture wine, and they had this one client that for 20 years they had a great relationship with him. They put in an order every single month for this specific amount of wine. That company went bankrupt, and they were stuck with all of this specialized wine that was made for this company that then they just had all this backstock they had made. And I know it's a little bit of a different situation,
Right.
but just about the importance of maybe having a diversified portfolio of the people that you work with.
And so if you want more trustworthy business connections, I'm sure that there's someone that we can find within our team that would love to work with you on that and help you find other trustworthy vendors to expand.
Okay, because, that is a
Yeah.
concern. As I expand, I know I'm going to have to go outside my comfort zone
Yeah.
of people that we've been doing business with for many, many years.
Well, and of course, having that extra layer of protection, knowing that you're covered if something does go wrong, gives you peace of mind, especially when you're trying to find a company you want to work
Right.
with. So we understand
And
completely.
so we understand that you are meeting us here today. Do you have any additional concerns or anything that you feel that you are lacking in coverage in perhaps?
Well, one of the things that came up from our initial meeting was, we've had these lighting kits in place for many, many years. And so now we're being asked by our partners there to go in and retrofit
Okay.
the lighting kits with LED,
Mhm.
update them. And most recently, we had a situation where we installed some new LED lighting, and a storm came up, lightning struck the canopy, set the canopy on fire. It damaged the canopy, burned down the convenience store, and also damaged some cars that were in the parking lot. So at this point, we're at a stalemate.
Mhm.
We've turned that into our insurance company, and of course, the people that own the convenience store has it as well. They're saying the cause of damage was the LED installation that we retrofitted. And our folks are saying it was just an act of God, lightning struck the canopy. That was the origin of the fire.
I just had a quick question for you. And you said that you don't do any of the retrofitting yourself. You
Correct.
contract out with the
Yeah.
company.
100%.
Okay. Have you spoken with that other company? Have you spoken with them and asked them and see if they were responsible for what their insurance policy entails?
No, I didn't even know that was an option. You know, they filed a claim against us because
It's
we're the ones that
Do
they
you
do
want to know a
business with.
secret? You can file a claim with them because they were the ones who did the actual
work.
installation.
Wow.
of the lights. So we just wanted to let
Yes,
you
that
So
know.
they may be held responsible and not me?
Stephanie
Yes.
Avenue.
Well, by gosh, I gotta make a phone call.
Yes. So do you have any other questions with us? Are you willing to meet with us tomorrow over lunch at the Blue Cafe? Maybe at 12:1?
12:30?
12:30,
You
does that work
good? You
for you?
good?
12:30, that's
So you have full time?
Yeah.
Hey, look, we
Yes.
want to say that.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. Do you have any questions or anything that you want us to look into between now and our meeting tomorrow?
No, I think we've covered so far.
Awesome, thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thank
We
you.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you taking the time
Absolutely.
to talk with us.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, sir.
You too.
Thank
Take
you.
care. All right, that's it, right?
That's it.
Is this your counterpart?
That's it. He's
Partner in crime?